Welcome to the Explainer. You know, it's wild to think about, but there used to be a time when a single, tiny, miscalculated line on a physical blueprint meant literally throwing the paper in the trash and starting entirely from scratch. Thankfully, we don't have to deal with that anymore. If you're a focused learner ready to conquer some new digital territory, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're taking on a genuinely exciting quest. We are going to conquer AutoCAD by drafting a basic room right from scratch. I totally get that looking at professional architectural plans can sometimes feel like trying to read a foreign language, but we're going to break the whole thing down step by step. By the end of this explainer, that intimidating blank digital canvas is going to be your absolute playground. To make sure we're doing this right, our definitive roadmap today is pulled straight from Assignment on Click, the definitive corporate sourcebook, specifically looking at their guide on mastering 2D architectural drafting. It's super important to give full credit to our authoritative source right out of the gate, because we're using their expertise to basically cut through all the noise and give you the exact, no-nonsense steps you need to navigate this software. Now, when you first stare down that brand new software installation, you're probably asking yourself, is AutoCAD actually difficult for beginners? Well, let's just acknowledge the elephant in the room. You open up that interface, and bam, you are hit with this massive ribbon packed with panels and buttons and tools you've never seen before. It is completely normal to feel overwhelmed. But here is the reassuring part. You really do not need to know what every single button does to get started. You honestly just need a small, highly focused toolkit to create something incredibly precise.
And let me tell you, pushing through that initial learning curve is so rewarding. Because once you grasp the basics of a 2D drawing, which really is just representing objects using length and width without worrying about depth, you unlock some massive real-world value. We're talking about the power to create professional floor plans, site plans, electrical layouts, mechanical components, or even just mapping out how your new furniture is going to fit in your living room. You are officially trading in those manual, uneditable sketches for exact, easily modifiable technical drawings.
So here is our clear agenda for today. 1. Setting up your workspace. 2. Drawing the room boundaries. 3. Adding doors and windows. 4. Organizing and annotating drawings. And finally, 5. Finalizing and best practices.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, Setting Up Your Workspace.
Remember how I said you don't need to memorize 1,000 commands to get massive results? It's true. Your keyboard is actually going to be your best friend here. It's way faster than hunting around for tiny icons on the ribbon. Hitting L for line, Rec for rectangle, O for offset, and TR for trim instantly puts you in command of the software. Oh, and we also have Z followed by E for zoom extents. Think of that one as your panic button. It instantly snaps your entire drawing right back into the center of your screen if you get lost. But before we actually start using those commands, we have a critically important setup step. See, AutoCAD isn't going to just guess your measurements. If you type in the number 5,000, AutoCAD just sees 5,000 blank units. It has no clue if you mean millimeters, inches, or miles. So by typing the command units and setting our scale to millimeters, we prevent our 5,000 millimeter room from accidentally becoming a 5,000 meter mega fortress. Another absolute lifesaver for your workspace is turning on your drawing aids, specifically something called Object Snap, which you can toggle with the F3 key. You can think of Object Snap as your ultimate weapon against visual guesswork. It literally acts like a magnet, pulling your cursor to connect perfectly to exact points, like the very end or the dead center of a line. Combine that with Ortho Mode, toggled with F8, which forces your lines to stay perfectly straight, and you guarantee that your architecture is actually structurally sound, rather than just looking kind of okay from a distance.
Okay, moving right along to Section 2, Drawing the Room Boundaries.
Let's anchor the scale of our task right now. For this explainer, we are going to build a room that is exactly 5,000 millimeters wide by 4,000 millimeters tall. Keep those core dimensions in your head, because that is the exact footprint we are about to lay down on the canvas. To drop in this external boundary, we are not going to painstakingly draw 4 separate lines. Instead, we're going to use that rectangle command. You just type REC, click a starting point anywhere on the screen, and then type the @ symbol followed by 5,000, 4,000. That @ symbol simply tells AutoCAD to measure relative to where you just clicked. Hit Enter, and boom, your external boundary is done. If it looks way too small or shoots off the screen, just type Z Enter, E Enter for zoom extents, and your perfect rectangle will fill the view. Now, walls have thickness, right? But instead of doing the math and manually drafting a whole new inner rectangle from scratch, we use the offset command. This creates perfect parallel copies at a specified distance. You just type O, Enter your wall thickness, let's go with 200 millimeters, click your existing rectangle, and then click inside of it. In literally 3 seconds, you've rapidly generated a perfectly even 200 millimeter interior wall all the way around.
That brings us to Section 3, adding doors and windows.
So how do we actually get inside without ruining that beautiful rectangle we just made? We use a super powerful 3-part combo. First, grab the line command to draw a quick, temporary vertical line straight across our wall thickness. Second, use that handy offset command again to copy that line over by, say, 900 millimeters for a standard door width. Finally, the real magic happens. Type TR for trim and simply click the wall section sitting between those two lines. AutoCAD just cuts them away instantly, leaving you with a perfectly clean opening. After that, you just draw a quick little line for the door leaf and drop in a simple arc to visually represent the door swing. Easy, right?
Hey, while we're on the topic of drawing lines, let's clear up a really frequent beginner misconception right now. What is the actual difference between standard lines and polylines? Well, if you draw a square using the regular line command, you end up with 4 completely separate individual line segments. But if you use the polyline command, it creates connected segments that all behave together as a single unified object. This distinction is a huge deal as your drawings get more complex because it ensures a room's perimeter acts as one solid boundary, rather than just a loose collection of sticks.
Next up, Section 4. Organizing and annotating drawings. If you want to know a professional drafter's absolute secret weapon, it's layer management. By typing layer, you can create distinct, color-coded categories for your drawing. For example, you put your external and internal lines on a dedicated walls layer. Your door leaf and swing go on a doors layer. This isolates your elements and prevents catastrophic errors when you're editing complex projects down the road. Like, if you ever want to temporarily hide all the furniture so you can safely tweak just the structural walls, you can do that with a single click, simply because they are neatly separated on their own layers.
Next, we need to bring this drawing to life and clearly communicate its scale by annotating. Typing the command dim lets you snap right to the corners of your room and pull out these precise, crisp measurement lines that prove to anyone looking at it that it really is exactly 5,000 by 4,000 millimeters. Then, by typing MT, you can drop a multi-line text box right into the center of the space, boldly labeling it Room 5,000 millimeters by 4,000 millimeters. In just a few clicks, it goes from being just a bunch of geometry to a fully communicative technical document.
And finally, we arrive at Section 5, finalizing and best practices.
Before we wrap, let's rapid fire through a hit list of common mistakes so you can save yourself some massive headaches later on. First, absolutely do not start drawing before setting your units. Scaling issues are a total nightmare to fix after the fact. Always double-check where your mouse is pointing so you don't accidentally offset a wall in the wrong direction. Never forget to keep Object Snap activated, otherwise you'll end up zooming in and finding micro gaps in all your corners. And please, avoid dumping every single line onto a single layer. Oh, and one last pro tip for sure, smash Ctrl+S constantly to save your DWG file. Don't let a random computer crash steal all your hard work. Look at that. You have successfully navigated the interface, you've set up a perfect workspace, and you drafted a dimensioned, organized room from absolutely nothing. That overwhelming ribbon of buttons is now just a handy toolbox for your creativity. So I'll leave you with this thought. Now that you have the skills to turn blank digital space into an exact, measurable reality, what are you going to draft in your next 2D floor plan? Keep practicing, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next